Hello and welcome back to Terra Invicta. In the last episode, we had the alien ships come to Mars and then leave. So they're leaving us alone for right now. We're building up some new shipyards in Mars, which in hindsight isn't really necessary because our Earth ones are all fine. We're still waiting on, some asteroids with more volatiles, stuff like that. But in general, we're trying to build up a stockpile and we're getting there. We're just focusing on Earth. Now, in the last episode, there was something that happened that was pretty major that I completely missed. If you've noticed, we're on 641 out of 763. That is not where we started that episode on. We actually was on 700. And now that event that we got in the last episode, where the Greenland ice melted, caused our control cap to plummet. And the reason why? Yeah, our per capita GDP got annihilated. Pretty much it's worldwide. So America's on 33,000, Europe's on 36, China's down to 17, and it was on like 21, 22. Pretty disastrous hits. And this is because the game is now considering us on extreme climate change. I mean, our population is dropping and it says also significantly extreme climate change and stuff. Now, in terms of climate change, if you actually look, if we're like 1 year ago, it's actually going up pretty slowly. I mean, methane is technically even getting better. And that is because of some of the techs we've been doing. We've been doing environment priority, which has been nice. And it has gone up, but we haven't properly focused on it. And it's coming to bite us right now in the last episode. I think that in general, you probably want to be trying to avoid that Greenland event. So you probably want to be trying to do kind of an environment from the beginning. Obviously, we weren't. And I don't know how bad it is. I mean, it looks bad, but as always in this game, less economy means more cap. After that event, we can now take Italy and the UK this episode, or take Russia right now. And we have the room to do that. Whereas before, we were slowly hitting up against the cap again. So it's always one of those things with environments, with the economy in this game, is the worse your economy, the more countries you can have. So it's never really like a big disaster when you lose a bunch of economy. However, it is also bad. It is better to have fewer countries that are better than more countries in general, right? That's the case. And also the overall strength of Earth, it hurts the other Earth-based factions a lot. Like your Resistances, your Project Exodus, they're like Malay and stuff, like some of their best nations. It's going to hurt them more. So, and we care about that because they're the ones who are currently fighting the aliens, not really us. It's them. I mean, these alien fleets, they're going to like the initiative here, right? That's kind of where their focus is. That lot is going to an alien base. Alexandria orbit. Where's that? Has a resistance base on it, right? So we want the other 8 human factions to be doing well. So it's not necessarily in our best interest, but it is kind of interesting. It has definitely changed the landscape of the world. Now we can fix this with a bit of economy. It's not fully something we want to focus on right now. Once we get America to its cap, which has now dropped, we'll definitely do economy in America. Try and boost that back up because it's 33 right now. It's very low. Now, in terms of tech, we're currently doing the deuterium helium-free fusion, and that will unlock clean energy. We already have all the other techs necessary for that, and then that will then unlock climate change mitigation, which we needed designer life forms, which you did in the last episode. So once we have clean energy, I think we'll hard focus on it more. We might hard focus on it more once we get this. It kind of depends a little bit. But techs are coming in to stop this climate change now. It would have just been nice if we had them maybe a year earlier, but really it doesn't matter. I hope there aren't any more horrific events after the Greenland one, if it gets too bad. But we will see, A bit more environment score does help, so yeah, we're still focusing on that. China's government is up to 2.6, which isn't amazing, but it's not terrible. Other than that, I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen, and I'm just going to take new country. I'm just going to do what, What? I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist, you know? True world leader. Let's go. Unpause. Oh, there we go. Nothing to see here. No need to worry. Old rivalries. Amnesty between India and the United Malay Nation is seeping through to Dhaframal and Mauricia Mandini's professional relationship. This is a new picture. What flags are these? It looks like UK and Australia, but it's not. Very odd. Because their home nations are rivals, it's kind of hurting them. We can pay a bunch of things to make them not rivals, but we don't care about India and the United Malay Nation. So we can kind of pick a country. Or we do this. Let's just do this. That's our opinion in both. We didn't really have opinion in both. An annoying little event there, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know if Mauricia really cares about the United Malay Nation. Considering, I think the United Malay Nation took over his homeland. Of Indonesia. Yeah. He's from Jakarta. The United Malay Nation is still a nation I'm really looking at as a country I would like. It is really good. Okay, conquering Turkmenistan is actually good because we want Russia to unify with all these places. So actually, as usual, Russia is just being a really helpful ally against the aliens this playthrough. Hydron tap.
Score one for the good guys.
Yeah, in terms of tech, also we're very close to a permanent peace, which is cool. We'll finally finish off the actual story stuff.
One grabs a weapon.
Arrival psychology.
Negotiate. A third.
Okay. We were doing this because we were working towards something, weren't we? What were we working towards? Ringhabs. We want extended space survival. That is what we were working towards, so let's do that. Mind and Machine can unlock like the new cyborg stuff. Like you can become cyberpunk stuff, which is pretty cool. But of course, it's very expensive, that kind of thing. So let's do extended space survival. And make sure we check these every now and then. I mean, more space mining output is good. 3% for that, actually. That's pretty good. I like a 3%. Let's try and give someone this. Leah Abbott definitely could use it. Does that even give any missions? No. Dorodo Private Investigations. He does not need that. And have that one. +1 espionage. Espionage. The Environmental Preservation Union. They're probably not very happy with us, considering we've let the world get to the state. Hurricane, send aid. Okay, how did the race for India go then? Yep, as I thought, the resistance should have got it, but they didn't. India's down to 4, look at that. Never seen that. Actually, I probably have, but not from like a fully... In India with all of its land, I've never seen it before. In India, which is like end of India and like just the capital, I've definitely seen it down to like a 3. Save who we can. Okay, let's join the Mars Defense Fleet. So the Mars Defense Fleet is actually looking pretty solid right now. Although I'll probably, once it's built, the shipyards here are built, I'll probably, let's move it to one of the shipyards, Mars Shipyard 1. I'll probably disband all of the plasma ships in that fleet. So we're just laser ships. Interrogation, don't really care. I'm never quite sure what interrogation does. Like if you capture someone, you get to interrogate them for info, which I guess helps you discover other counselors, but I don't know. It never really seems to do anything. At least in my experience. Or xenofauna. Yep, that's really good then. So the only two Russia doesn't have is Tajikistan and then Azerbaijan. Of its kind of non-European countries that it wants to go for. So, as we have the cap...
Where do you need me?
Could do Russia. Could do Sweden, actually. Sweden, interestingly, is like doing pretty good. Like, Sweden is so rich that it's like only half as rich as the UK. It's kind of awkwardly in the Eurasian Union. I think if we wanted a Sweden, we need to kind of kick it out of the Eurasian Union. Let's do Sweden then. Let's get that into the EU. Although I'm more focused on population rather than total economy. UK is the biggest, other than Russia, of course. Let's do UK. Legislative. Let's do 64 because we've got the resources. 128, maybe we could justify. It's a little bit much.
Cracking down.
Standing by.
Your orders?
64.
What's the up?
At your service.
We need to keep... I do want to keep clearing out xenofauna though, so it's kind of a bit of an awkward situation.
Heading to the LZ.
Ready.
What's the
But
up?
we need to make sure that we're doing this as well.
Standing by.
It's just one of those things, we have so much we want to be doing with our
Removing
councillors.
our enemies.
Ready for my mission.
Like, we also want to be fighting alien bases, but we just don't have the councillor time for that.
Our appeal.
Your orders?
Yeah, we'll do it like that. And honestly, Sydney can just get back to advising
Lending my expertise.
our biggest nation, which is still China, by quite a margin now,
Offering counsel.
because it hits like the low population countries more proportionately than high. So the countries with less population, those kind of events hit more. Because China's more relying on population for its total GDP rather than its GDP per capita. Whereas countries like America and Europe are more relying on GDP per capita for their total GDP. But China is hit less than our other states by the Greenland event. Yeah, we'll grab UK. We'll get that into the European Union. Parasite decon operations, more minus in thrall. We should definitely be doing those techs, and I think I'll probably be doing that after permanent peace. Psyops. Don't really need psyops. Phasers is very slow. No one wants to help us with phasers, which is a little bit sad, to be honest. Now, I have had a lot of comments about different like military tactics people use, which is really, really interesting. I don't like respond to all of them, but I do read them all, and it's very like complicated to me because, to be honest, when it comes to a military in this game, I would always just build lasers and then build plasma. I kind of just skipped all the complicated stuff and just gravitated to simple because I always want to do that in these kind of games. I like to kind of simplify it down because I think when it's such a complicated game, the simpler you make it, the better you can do. And I find that's true for pretty much all strategy. It's same in like Stellaris with their ship designs, where you can do all these crazy ship designs, or you can just kind of stick a bunch of the same weapon on it for different endgame crises, and then each one is just the best kind of thing. You know, depending on the update, of course. Because Stellaris is a mess. And we're not talking about Stellaris, this is Terra Invicta. I usually just go with like a design that works and then just kind of go with it. But I want to experiment a little bit more to find that design. One of the things that was really interesting that's been suggested is like using a singular coil gun, basically,
Find the numbers.
to distract alien lasers because they'll shoot them down as kind of point defense. I thought that was very interesting, and I think that should work, especially on a Titan where you have so many free like red slots in the middle. You could even argue like some kind of swarmer missiles or something like that for the late game. I thought that was really interesting, and I might try something like that. I love seeing about kind of oil guns or ion cannons, which I don't really know anything about. I think a lot of them I've literally obsoleted as well. Like, yeah, coil guns and stuff, I'm pretty sure I've like obsoleted all of them. Yeah, I have. So, you know, it's difficult to know what to do, but we'll try some stuff out over the course of this campaign. We'll make the kind of different designs and see what we think works, what doesn't. I definitely do want to try out some coil cannons as like distractions. And yeah, I definitely do want to try that. So I'm going to obsolete them. It just feels odd to me that they're used in the late game, considering they're such an early game kind of weapon. But we saw with the Protectorate how effective coil guns can be with that one Protectorate Navy. It was a number of episodes ago now.
I will help them.
Your orders.
And yeah, so maybe it is like a play to do coil guns. Yep, so we have got the legislative. As usual, I like to do this. I just kind of skip everything and just go legislative, executive.
Targeting their center of power.
Where do you need me?
Because the quicker we get to executive, the quicker we consolidate power. So it's kind of better to do that, than the other two, usually. Oh, Madricia and Mandrini, I was wondering why it was so low. Yeah, no, executive.
Ready for orders.
What's the op?
What's the op?
Hopefully everyone's okay with me doing this.
Terminating the opposition.
The UK is definitely in some wars. Now we also need to check, because I forgot about this, we actually have not had a proper policy for Switzerland all this time. I just want them to be doing funding, to be, you know, buffing that up for later on, because all their stats are already incredible, so we don't really care about anything like that. Yeah, and then Dahramal, just keep going through, fighting Xenofauna.
Going in hot.
I'm here.
Make sure we're also fighting Xenofauna with all these armies that we have around here. That are basically on Xenofauna hunting duty at this stage of the game. Okay. Zhipang, let's do another public campaign.
Story.
Fantastic. And in UK, what are we gonna... Let's wait till we have the executive and then we'll decide what we'll be doing here. Most likely it will be funding. Let's just do that then.
Offering assistance.
Yeah, we'll just be doing funding in the UK. Now, the UK is technically in like a union with, I believe is it Jamaica? But I don't think they get a claim on Jamaica. I don't know how they're in a union with them. Okay, a permanent peace. You can read the generic one and I'll read the overall one.
Everything is in place, Chancellor. Once our fleet arrives at the alien base and our troops secure it, our envoys are prepared to go through.
We have completed the research a permanent peace objective. Our linguistics team has not been idle, and while they have been pursuing other goals, they have developed a rudimentary mechanism for reading and reproducing ferrocytes, allowing for a more sophisticated communication. That's interesting. That's we're like the only faction to do that, as far as I'm aware. We basically have communication ferrocytes rather than murder ferrocytes, like what Humanity First does. Using this, we approached Rudy with details of our plans. Security Officer Palmer, given his apparent level of rapport with our Hydra captors, was chosen to present our case. Rudy's first reaction was, as expected, to refuse. We presented him with our blueprint for a bioweapon using modified Hydra cells. The weapon would take advantage of the behavioural effects of Hydra ferrocytes to accelerate its spread, leading to an estimated 99% fatality rate upon infection. According to our projections, it would at very least inflict significant population damage and would, at most, wipe out the Hydra race entirely. The Humanity First bioweapon. Our presentation is, at least partially, a bluff. We lack the Bioware expertise to actually produce such a virus. I mean, Humanity First can do it. I'm sure we could do it as well. Still, while we could not manufacture such a weapon, other humans could. And to the Hydras that is much the same thing. For the first time, Rudy demonstrated signs of genuine fear. That's great. When we presented our offer to him, that he act as our go-between in opening negotiations, he agreed with little argument. Rudy is our diplomat. We have our strategy. We have the knowledge of where we must go, and we have a Hydra who is, however shakily, recruited to our cause. We are ready as we will ever be. That's epic. Okay. We got the Hydra, we got the plan. Rudy's gonna do it. Yeah, they're like signs of genuine fear, and there's like everyone cheers. That's just Starship Troopers. And I don't know if we want to be that, but the best we can do. New objective, send our envoys through the wormhole. Our plan is reasonably simple, though highly dangerous. We have assembled an envoy team. It consists of Rudy the Hydra, Security Officer William Parker, the head of our translation team, 2 diplomats, and one of our other security officer. That is a team. I'm going to assume that we have Svetlana is one of the diplomats, because, of course, and then probably like Zhupang or someone. And then one other security officer, obviously Daframal. All humans having been injected with a double dose of the anti-ferricite serum. According to our calculations, they should be able to pass through the wormhole without exceeding its mass limit. Yes, we can go through. So that's the first step. I guess we've already done that. 2, our fleet must secure the space around the Hydra base. We have definitely not done that. We haven't even got Jupiter. 3, Marine officers will occupy the base itself and take control of the wormhole apparatus. We will announce to the Hydra garrison that we only wish to negotiate, and we will offer assurances that no Hydras on the base will be harmed if they let us pass. They will not accept this. And not when we annihilate their fleet in orbit. Our envoy team will pass through. Once on the other side, our envoy team will make contact with the Hydra leadership. Rudy's presence will be crucial here. According to Rudy, internal violence among Hydras is rare, and Hydras on the other side will probably attempt to communicate with him rather than shooting first. Probably. 6, our envoy team will broker a truce. It's a very short one for something very complicated. Our envoy team will be out of contact once they have passed through their wormhole. Our only recourse will be to wait and see. Should the Hydras reject our offer once negotiations begin, we have one final resource. The 2nd security officer accompanying the envoy team will be carrying a specially designed case containing an antimatter bomb with an estimated yield of 0.75 megatons. All of the human members of our envoy team have been briefed on how to operate the device. They understand what they are committing to. One way or another, no further invaders will be coming through the wormhole. I like that we have the resistance victory as our backup. Okay, and the new victory conditions. The game has changed, of course. To launch the Counselor mission to win the game, we must first fulfill the following goals to ensure our victory. Our faction must control regions with 60% of the Earth's population. We control a region... Yep. Interesting. It's population-based now, not economy-based. That means that African Union is definitely going to be our next stop, because there's a lot of population there that's unaccounted for. And I think once we do that, we should be fine. India is also going to be really important if we're going to want to do this population goal. African Union is going to be really, really nice. And then we also have a fully built surface base. This is the big new one. Have a full surface base, at least tier 3 and powered and active in all planetary systems. Mercury, Earth, Mars, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. So basically all the big ones. Interestingly, Earth, I guess something in space though, like an orbital counts, which is kind of interesting. So, no aliens. The only factions we care about killing, the Servants, Humanity First, and Aliens. So it's interestingly that non-extremist factions we don't care about. Very, very interesting. And only large fleets. So no longer do you have to run down and finish off all the little fleets and little stuff, which was always one of the reasons why people didn't finish playthroughs of this game. I know I have a few playthroughs that I've never finished. I really like this change. It's kind of complicated victory conditions, but in essence it's like control everything. That's the victory. And I assume other factions will be quite a bit simpler than us. But yeah, okay, that's easily doable. All we have to do is win, basically. All we have to do is conquer everything. Amazing. Let's turn off obsolete, because we have so many obsolete at this point. This is a -4, and then this is also a -4. Let's do the slightly cheaper -4 first. Advanced xenological monitoring. Get another -8 from both those techs. Yep, we've been fighting Xenofauna. You need to fight Xenofauna as well.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
I'm going to send this army home, because we don't want too many of our armies hanging out in this area, same as that army and this army. We also have, actually I completely forgot, you are here to fight this Xenofauna, which yes has already spread to some surrounding regions. This is pretty important that we crack down on.
A life spent merely in
Extended space survival. Okay, ring habitats. This is tier 3 rings. More important than the colonies, because the main thing we want tier 3 for is big shipyards, because big surface bases, maybe it's nice, we'll definitely build them, especially on high volatile sites. But it's not as important as big ring bases. So yeah, let's get some ring habs. Residential modules, don't care about that.
Targets got away.
Crackdown complete.
We've done a successful crackdown on Europe. Alp failed, but Mauritia succeeded.
My mission is complete.
That's one of the reasons why it's nice to have 2 investigators, because
Wrapping up here.
it makes it just a lot easier to take
Cleaning
points.
things up.
Laying the groundwork.
India's back at war. Interestingly, the 2 resistance points in India have already been taken. India is actually quite easy to take for the aliens now. I'm curious if that's going to be the alien agent's goal. Okay, 10% environment. Yeah, what do we want to do then? 10 years longer lifespan for councillors. Maybe we want to start going towards that event. Honestly, I think let's start on new engines. We're a tricky spot because our military, our tech is actually really important right now. Part of me wants to do this and then turn it off, so we can hard focus more on some a few other techs. Because this is really important. This is really important. This arguably is most important. In fact, in a way, these are a lot less important than the global techs. Maybe we should just focus on global techs for a little bit.
Our people have taken control.
All these global techs are very important. Okay, we have a fleet going for low Mars orbit, 6.9k. Jeez, okay. Yeah, that's why global techs are important right now. Well, we have a new round of ships being built. And new shipyards. With these new shipyards then, I mean, look how many shipyards we have right now. We have to scroll for ages just to build ships. Let's build a round of L-class. Do we want to do that? Or, yeah, let's do one round of L-class at Mars specifically. And I don't want to lose Mars. It's kind of the one place I really don't want to lose. Again, they might not do anything. Just like the last fleet, they might just leave. Okay, this division here, yeah. Glasgow, Glasgow. We'll just call it UK 1. Or Britain 1. I don't like to put like UK 1. The reason why I had like America 1 and stuff is because when you have like EU, PA, US, UK, it can get a little bit unclear what's actually what. That's why I just prefer to actually have the names. I think I got a comment about that at the beginning, because I did America 1 rather than US when I just had US. And the reason why I do that, even right at the beginning, is because when you're at this stage of the game, it can get a little bit unclear. The problem with United Kingdom is it doesn't really have like a simplified name version, because we just have 75 different names. Because you can't really say England because it's United Kingdom. United Kingdom is a bit unclear and it's way too long. So I just go with Britain. I don't know. A very weird country over here. That's fine.
Support.
Ready.
Okay. Yep, so we have 2 out of 4 in the UK. Even though I'd love to focus more on megafauna and stuff. There's so much megafauna because we really need to deal with this Chinese megafauna as well. Because it's spread to Jian and Zhengzhou here. Please get over there.
Please keep me safe.
The issue is our people clearing it, as well as Darframal, are Leia Abbott and Mauricia.
At your service.
Ready for my mission.
Okay, so Darframal, let's start with you.
We're going in.
We could try and have Sydney help
Where
clear.
do you need me?
The problem with Sydney is he doesn't have much experience. Zhu Pang could be useful helping clear, but he's also struggling for experience. Yeah, Mission to the Hydra, this is our new one, which we don't want to use or give to anyone until we're ready.
Where do you need me?
Leah? Yeah, let's finish off the UK. I would love to focus on xenofauna, but let's get rid of UK.
We're taking power.
I'm here.
Actually, you know what? Let's do it like that. It's not that unlikely. Let's do Mauricia doing xenofauna hunting. I think that's fine. Yeah, it'd be nice if Zhu Pang could help with xenofauna hunting, because honestly, weirdly enough, this turn he doesn't have much to do. Of course, he can do the thing that everyone should be doing anyway, which is advice. Always time for advice. Alien megafauna destroyed in Astana. Technically, that's one of our armies there, I believe. Yeah, get down and help Russia conquer that, please.
Offering counsel.
Okay, UK ally the EU and China, and unrival Switzerland.
I will help them.
And yeah, UK joining the EU will be the next big step. So we're going to have to leave this federation first. With Jamaica, that's fine. Okay, alien megafauna down. And honestly, let's focus on assaulting that alien structure with that army so we can get
Not the resources or politics.
the exotics and stuff.
In the future,
Okay, clean energy, let's go. And new laser ships have been built. Oh, one of them did not join. So these new laser ships on Earth, I was kind of hoping they could just hang around Earth, but they're actually going to need to be going to Mars. Yeah, so they're all fine. Okay, so let's all go to Mars then. Mars Defense Fleet. Let's just use the maximum. Or we could just spend a little bit less. No, we'll just use the maximum. Mars Defense Fleet. Nice, Mars and Earth is so close right now. And it's nice and cheap, nice and easy just to get there. The only thing that could make the trip faster is more acceleration. We're limited by acceleration right now rather than Delta V. There we go. So we'll send everyone to the Mars Defense Fleet. Should definitely help make the fleet reasonably stronger in order to fight that alien fleet that's coming in. Yep, and we've been greedy with our councillors and have not been defending, which is irritating. That's what I get for being greedy though.
One for the good guys.
I should have been doing defense. I was doing it in Switzerland as I was going through Switzerland, but yeah. Hybrid confinement fusion reactor free, so we're now getting reactor freeze,
Score one for the good guys.
which we're definitely going to want to start to be doing. What engine are we actually using on our current ships? Because it feels like it's the best. Ship designer, let's have a look. So we have designer ship classes. On the L class, what thing is this? This is hybrid confusion refinement 2. That seems to be the most useful. Let's definitely do that. Hybrid confinement fusion reactor free. The Helion plasma jet lantern. Yeah, because there's like the internal one, but we've been preferring this one just about. But then of course as we get higher it might not be the case anymore. Alien administration founded in Brazil. Britain 2 destroys installation. Wow, that is a lot of megafauna in Brazil. The Z-Pinch free. A bit scary number of megafauna, to be honest.
Our enemies are still in control.
Good. Turkmenistan is gone. And I don't... Can we actually send that army home? Oh yeah, it just ended its alliance with me, so it got exiled to Iran. We can go home now. Good. So let's continue with our councillors. Do we want to hide Sydney? You attacked Xenofauna yet? No, please attack Xenofauna. Dahramal, let's finish off this Xenofauna here.
Taking it to them.
Where to?
Mauricia. Let's do the Xenofauna in Denmark.
Gear up.
Ready to go.
We've done alright with Xenofauna. We've reduced it quite a lot in the EU, which is nice. UK, on the other hand, yeah, that's annoying.
What's the
And a failure from Leah and Alp last turn. I mean, honestly, there's no rush for the rest of the points. As long as I have the executive, I can make decisions for the UK. I just can't fully enter it into the EU. But you know what? For now, let's just defend interests.
Ready for orders.
Reporting in.
Dupang out.
Where to? Turning up the heat.
Please don't fail.
Standing
I mean, we
by.
have good chances. We shouldn't be
Ready
failing
for my
here.
mission. Targeting the opposition.
I'm here.
Okay, we'll advise. Up to 2.7 with China.
Lending my expertise.
Securing our interests.
Very good, very good. And I think if we can get tier 3 bases, that will also be nice for our volatiles, because then we can build some bigger volatile mines. I don't think there's anything right now we particularly want. How is Mercury doing? Could we maybe stage a comeback? Not really. Exodus seems to want it. Let's see if the aliens take them out. Let's try a sneaky little base on Tung Yuan, which is definitely the best one because of just its massive volatiles. If we could have any base on Mercury, if I could only have one, it would easily be this one. So, and the nice thing about having only one base is that if it survives and then later on we take all these other Exodus bases, we can then use a nano factory from Tuangwan to take the rest of Mercury easily. Superfood. Oh my goodness. 2% GDP minus inequality. That's fantastic, yeah.
Mission in progress.
Prepping for next mission.
I mean, it's not a huge amount because our GDP is so low anyway. 2% is not very much, but I'll take it, I'll take it.
We lost their trail.
Oh, come on, Alp.
Prepping for mission.
What mission are you doing? Oh, he's purging the legislative for the servants. That's fair enough. It is cracked down after all. I'm surprised no one has taken it yet. But then if this is the best they can do, a 7 espionage councillor, then it's no wonder. Okay, she's done assault life forms.
Target destroyed.
Oh, we still haven't actually taken them out over here. Wow, we were here quite quickly. Join the Mars Defense Fleet, join the Mars Defense Fleet, join the Mars Defense Fleet. Up to 37 ships, 5.6k. And the number of plasma ships we have here, in terms of percentage wise, is going down quite rapidly. Okay, we've lost legislative in the United Kingdom. Interestingly, to the initiative,
Our associates were unable.
you seem to have had
control.
nothing all game, and I did do a councillor purge. No more pretty words, we're shutting you down. I mean, go for it. Brazil alien administration is a little bit of a mess. One of the things we can do, though, the countries like Brazil, we change, obviously don't need Great Europa right now. Pause and we can show obsolete. If we do end of Brazil, when we occupy Brazil, it will make it a lot harder for the aliens to take it back over. So let's do breakup of Brazil. like kind of independence away from the aliens is easier when it's kind of all broken up like that. It also means that Brazil has more development because it's smaller countries. So while it's under AI control, it will be more developed. Let's definitely do that. We should probably attack the alien administration. Yeah, they don't have any nuclear countries. So
Reporting in.
I guess Xu Pang is probably the best person for the job. National policy, let's invade.
Ready for my mission. Standing by.
Mauricia has to hide, which is slightly irritating.
Going silent. Ready for orders.
Dahramal didn't finish it off in one strike. That's alright, Dahramal.
Where to?
It's kind of difficult to finish off because we get it spread in from Russia. Sydney, let's get you advising.
Help them.
Ready to go.
What are we doing then with our last two? We failed again in the UK with these
Reporting.
Leah and Alp.
Ready for orders.
A little bit irritating. Honestly, I'm just going to send all of the foreign armies in Europe home. I think European armies can fight Xenofauna on their own from this stage. Let's move some armies around. Like so. Yep. Let's do that. Let's send the foreign armies in Europe home. The Xenofauna is not so bad. It's mostly contained to the right side of the country now. Please grab this point though.
Ready.
Seems like Mauricia is the only one who can do anything at the moment, Alp. You need to step up. That's alright. So 5%, the UN Office for Space Out Affairs. Oh no, it's only a 2% space mining output bonus. I thought it was bigger than that. It's not very good. But it's not terrible, I guess, because we get a little bit of space science, we get a little bit of mission control. You can make arguments for it. We have a lot of espionage on Alp right now. I might drop the Mogul intelligence broker to grab it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get, yeah, we'll get the security, but let's get the +1 espionage for Alp and the +1 investigation for Alp. And an additional investigation and an additional espionage. There we go. Confirm. Every tiny buff helps for space mining output. 162% bonus space mining. I mean, we wouldn't be anywhere without that bonus.
Offering
And this
assistance.
is our only fleet.
Going into hiding.
We wanted to resupply, yeah, it's quite expensive, so we don't need to do that. I do want to make sure we're equalizing Delta V. We have kind of two different ship types here. That's all equal, but this one is not equal. Let's equalize. We go up to 150, not bad. Yeah, and then this fleet here will help that Mars fleet out. Oh, aliens just won a big battle there, it looked like. At Lysander Station. It's nice. It's nice that the human factions are so much more useful in this version, like as the game has gone on. It's nice how involved they all are. I was going to declare war on Brazil, actually. I honestly forgot. Other people have declared war. Russia has declared war. Oh. Brazil is back. So that will be kind of the Raise Unrest missions. You can kind of get these breakaways. And we have done breakup of Brazil. Now. Let's get back on Great Europa. Not that we're going to rush it right now. We're still much more focused on phases and also ring habs and clean energy.
Policy direction complete.
Okay, policy for North America. We are doing policy. I am not paying attention, don't mind me. Are we going to be able to rival right now? Yep, you can. That's good. They're on the alien administration and Algeria. Sure, I'm not too worried about Algeria. Confirm, join, 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 join. The alliance is led by Algeria. Enjoy that. Our old friends, Algeria. They've done a lot for us over the course of the game. Bit of a tricky spot to jump into. Sol Brazil, let's get that independence. So Porta Algeria. Although I believe because Brazil is now at war with the Union administration. No, it's not at war with them. Okay, so we will create breakaway states. Let's get down to Porto Algeria. America 5, we can't move. I'm going to assume it's the same with Pan-Asia 3, yeah. And then the Chinese armies, let's honestly just get up to here. Doesn't really matter. I would like a more separated up Brazil, broken up Brazil, but it doesn't really matter. In Europe, stay where it is. And Britain too doesn't even have a navy, so... And we don't need one. Because this army will be disbanded
The LZ is secure.
the second it unites with the EU. Yeah, keep Europe where it is, kind of focusing on xenofauna. It's not really needed in the region we're currently at. Okay, Pan-Asia 3 has arrived in Asia, let's bring it over. And then America 5 has arrived in America, let's bring it over.
We are in control now.
We definitely want to take out these alien bases. I don't think we'll be able to ally Brazil. No, they won't let us. It's a bit of a shame. Britain 1, yeah, stuck in Glasgow. And then Britain 2 is stuck in London. Well, it's not stuck because I could believe even without a navy, you can like cross the channel. Yeah, you can. But we don't want to be doing that. Okay, Sydney. Keep advising
I will help.
UK.
Acknowledged.
In fact, I think that's a good place to end the episode there. We do have an enemy fleet coming for Mars, which is a little bit scary. Let's actually have a look at that fleet so we know what we're looking for next time. Here it is, 1,300. It's arriving on the 8th of May. We will have a new bunch of ships ready before it even arrives, which will mean that we outnumber them. And honestly, considering how many little corvettes and stuff they have in this fleet, with those extra ships, we should crush Victor 1,300. And we want to make sure, actually, with this fleet, mainly, is that it doesn't get a chance to run away. We want to inflict some casualties on aliens. Another thing we should do, and probably should have been doing earlier, is we should be looking at more sites we build on, potentially. Although I have been doing that every now and then, and it's just... There's not much like amazing sites. There's obviously at Europa IO, other than some sites which we could try and take. And that's something to consider from other AI factions, especially ones that hate us, like on 2 Palace, right? Giza base here for servants, or this one. In terms of ones that are unclaimed, it's basically, you have a few, like you have Krasuna here, or Aurelia. I think it probably could be worth taking some of these. Yeah, here we go. Here's Krasuna, like 54.8. It's not bad at all. But it's like 2 years to found there, and it's definitely worth doing a few of these, I think. It's just like a long term play. But totally worth it. Okay, so that's all the basic buildings done. So we'll just do a few science ones, like life, energy, and materials. Sure. We should definitely have been doing this from earlier on. It was definitely a mistake I made. But it always felt too late, and it even feels too late now. Especially as a lot of these sites are not particularly good. I think what would be better is us kind of conquering sites from these guys. That's definitely something we want to be doing in the near future. But we'll grab a few. There's this comet here. Comet Temple. And we'll do this one as well. Okay, yeah, so that's this one built. Crispy's crater, and I think with that, that's like a few more bases that in 2 years will help get us more volatiles. Might be important. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to go too crazy with it though, because it's very easy for water to be our limiting resource. I mean, we're almost there in terms of water. And I'm kind of expecting Ceres to be wiped out any minute, at which point water will be by far our limiting resource. So we do need to be really, really careful for that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's one of those, it's always a hard balance of like, what do you hard focus on? But if we hard focus on volatiles, because it's been our current limiting, we'll then get other limiting resources. But as it stands, I'm happy with these extra bases. They're not terrible spots, and it should help us in the future. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.